Hey everybody, I just wanted to start out by saying something that I feel is really important. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, your gender, your ethnicity, doesn't matter if you make a lot of money, doesn't matter if you're young or old, it doesn't matter what political party you belong to, because there's one thing that we all have in common. We all love Rocket League. I love it, you love it, your little brother loves it, your grandma loves it, probably. Everybody loves Rocket League. I remember when I first heard about Rocket League. My friend Carlos told me about it. He's like, "Yeah, man, you should check out this game. It's like soccer but with cars." And I'm just thinking, like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. And I ended up saying, yeah, okay, I'll check it out. I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna play this game. Some weeks later, probably, I was hanging out with this friend again at his house, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta check out Rocket League." So he busts out a couple controllers. We play some split screen, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? This is actually pretty fun. I am no good at this, but it's pretty fun." So next time I think it went on sale, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna pick this up." I was instantly hooked. Such a great game. So that was the first time I was wrong about Rocket League. I thought it was a stupid idea, but maybe it was, but it was executed brilliantly. Second time I was wrong about Rocket League, I never imagined it would still be popular today. I never imagined it would become the massive phenomenon that it has become. Oh, when did it come out? One moment. The game's been around for 4 years now, and it still has a massive player base. We're talking in the tens of thousands all the time. According to Steam, it's still way up there on their top charts if you look at the stats page. I never would have imagined that. Most games are popular, if they're lucky enough to be popular at all. They're popular for a little while when they're released, and then they just die out. But people still continue to enjoy this game daily. So I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about that, share my opinion as to why the game has been so successful and continues to be so successful. What have they done right? Were we just looking for a game about cars playing soccer all along? Or is there more to it? Okay, so first of all, I will discuss the idea behind the game. Okay, playing soccer in this massive stadium with these giant soccer balls, driving cars. Perhaps because there was no other game like it to my knowledge. I never heard of a game like that before. Definitely it does have originality in its favor. However, that alone will not make a popular game, and it will not make a game with such lasting power as Rocket League. What else did they do? They really perfected the feel of the game, the gameplay itself. It's so accessible, and it just feels so good. The controls are so tight. You can just speed around, zip around in these cars. It's fast paced, it's fun. You can jump and flip and all these different things. They're very simple to execute, but it takes a lot of skill, practice, and timing to learn to actually execute and make your shots. That being said, that accessibility is another big selling point I see, because you can pick it up, you can play it for a few minutes at a time. Each match is like 5 minutes or so, but you can also really get hooked on it and keep going and going, and you can unlock rewards and things, customizations for your vehicles, which I'll get into in a little bit. But really, that pick up and play, it's simple, but it takes time to master. And even if you're not good at it, you can still have some really glorious moments. Even if you're not good at the game, you can still have those few just legendary moments where you're like, I can't believe I just did that. That was amazing. So going back to what I started getting into a few minutes ago, yeah, they have a lot of unlockables. You can customize your car with different looks. So if you're the type who likes to collect all these different in-game items, there's a lot to go for, a lot to keep playing for. And more than just unlocking items, actually they have regular events. So right now, or recently, they had this summer event. So it was a totally new game mode, limited time thing, and they're constantly coming out with events to keep you hooked, keep you playing, keep things fresh. Another thing they did right, cross-platform multiplayer. I've been preaching this a lot. everybody needs to start doing cross-platform multiplayer, and it's obvious that the developers are really catching on to this. Even the big companies like Microsoft and Sony are talking about working together, sharing their player bases, allowing more of this cross-platform multiplayer capability. Rocket League was right on doing this years ago, and that's really had a very positive effect, unsurprisingly, on their player base. I find so often on PC that it's so hard to find games, it's hard to find other players, whereas the console version of the same game is just super heavily populated. You don't have this problem, everybody gets to play together. You don't have to own the same consoles as your friends. I don't see why more people are not doing this. I am so glad that people are starting to jump on the bandwagon here. But Rocket League was one of the first big ones to do it, and I commend them. Speaking of multiplayer, I love that this game has split screen. Like I say, my first experience with this game was playing split screen with my friend on PC, no less. So I'm glad a lot of PC games are adding split screens, hoping that the new Halo collection does, but that's off the topic. Fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, it's always a good time. I have so many fond memories playing split screens growing up with my buddies, with my dad, with my family. More and more people are into online gaming these days, or they have multiple systems in the house and they're playing with each other from different rooms. But there's definitely still something to be said about being able to just sit next to your buddy or your family members, just grab a controller and just chill with each other, chill, have a beer together or a soda if you're underage, and just kick back and pass the time, hang out and talk to each other. In the meantime, enjoy some friendly competition or co-op. Which brings me to one of my other points about this game is the family friendly nature of it. It's a game that kids can play, their parents feel good letting them play it. It's not violent, doesn't have any sort of suggestive or vulgar material. I think even the online chat in this game is very restricted to avoid a lot of profanity and things like that. And it's just such a good game. It really appeals to all ages. And soccer is one of the most popular sports, if not the most popular sport in the world. I think worldwide it's the most popular sport, but don't quote me on that. It's just, altogether, it's just a fantastic game. They really have done everything right with the game, continuing to support it, continuing to provide new content for the players. Hats off to these guys. They could have gone off and made a sequel, but they continue to just keep on supporting the original game. I'm sure it will get a sequel eventually, and I would love to see that, but really they've got something special. They've got something nearly perfected here, and they're just gonna keep on rolling with it. No pun intended, but keep on rolling with it. Anyways, guys, tell me your thoughts. Why is Rocket League so successful? Did you think it was going to be successful, or were you like me? Were you like, this thing's weird? Maybe you don't like Rocket League. Tell me in the comments what you think, and what else? What other kind of videos do you want to see? I appreciate all your feedback. I will really take them into consideration. By the way, if you like the channel, hope you'll subscribe. Hope you'll leave me a like and a comment. Check out the link below, Humble Bundle, also to support my channel and to support people across the world. Thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Go play some Rocket League. Have a good time.